Hello, I'm Stacy Mowchan, and I'm currently a ninth grade earth science teacher at New Britain High School, located in New Britain, Connecticut. In this day and age of global economies and political uncertainties, it's never been more important for students to possess geographic competency and awareness. But Americans generally do not seem to place much importance on this. As a nation, we do not consider ourselves as part of the rest of the world, but more like the center of the world, which happens to have other countries that we may or may not have interests in. Mexico and Canada are thought of as attached to us, not as equal parts of North America. In this thinking, we're geographically isolated in the world, mentally isolated in our thinking, as compared with European countries that may share multiple borders, often within a day's drive, and have developed over centuries as trading or diplomatic partners. The United States has not evolved with that sense of shared history. In addition, we're raised on a steady diet of independent thinking and are not taught to think of ourselves as dependent on anyone or anything. As a result, most of my students cannot put a finger on or identify locations in our own country, let alone different countries on a map, but one can hardly fault them. Geography is not taught in schools. Map reading is a non-existent skill for most people who grew up with the presence of GPS in cars and on phones where it's not even possible to see the bigger picture. We don't think we need anyone else's resources or see ourselves using resources that the rest of the world also depends on, so we don't see ourselves as part of the global warming problem. This isolationist thinking is not productive and has never been more critical for all of us to know not only our geographic place in the world, but our collective and interdependent parts. As an educator, I'm committed to my role of raising competent global citizens and future stewards of the planet. The first step is to ensure that my students see themselves as citizens of this planet that we all share. Views of Earth from space help to put our location into perspective. Teaching Earth science, my students will learn that Earth is a collection of tectonic plates. Our weather and climate are part of an atmosphere that surrounds the entire planet in its protective envelope. Teaching Earth science systems science shows us all that our actions, teaching Earth science systems shows us all that our actions have local and more far-reaching consequences. There are no dotted lines to separate us, no separations except those ever-changing coasts made by rivers or oceans. We're all citizens of the planet Earth, not just the town, state, or country that we live in.